Day 33 of my trip, day 23 of Korea, day 23 of Jeju, and day 16 of Seogwipo. I had been looking forward to this day for so long. Before coming, I looked up things to do and festivals that were happening while I would be in Korea, and I happened upon an event called Jeju Purple Festa. The cafe that day one of the event was being held at was relatively close to where I was staying, but I was running a bit behind schedule, so my fit check had to be super quick, and I couldn't get a bus. I had to get a taxi, but it was okay because I got there with minutes to spare, and I got to talk to the taxi driver in Korean and chat about the Jeju language a bit. It's a 2-day event, and the first day had a bunch of different types of workshops you could go to and had to sign up for in advance, so I was really looking forward to it. I signed up for 3 things, the first one being the Bojagi workshop from 11:30 to 12:30, the second being a lecture from a Korean professor called Artists loved by RM from 1 to 2:30. The third was called Singing BTS Hits in Jeju Dialect from 2:30 to 3:30. I'm more focused on Korean culture and the historical context, and after arriving I realized that this was very much an event for BTS ARMY, which I am not. However, I do very much enjoy some of their songs and recognize their contribution to the modern culture, so I was excited to learn, and everyone was very nice and friendly, so even though I felt a little out of place, it was super fun and enjoyable. Everyone got a free book about BTS as well as a few of the Bojagi, the wrapping cloths, and a Korean moon jar to wrap. There were also translators, and I was very lucky that the English translator sat at my table right across from me. I know there was also a Japanese translator. I'm not sure about Chinese though. Before starting to learn how to wrap everything, we got a brief presentation on the moon jars and its connection to BTS, especially RM, as well as a little short history and explanation of the Bojagi.
So like she first mentioned, like Bojagi can embrace anything, right? And then the moon jar, if you take a look, it's not like top and bottom separately and then collapse it together.
Now for the part I had been looking forward to, actually learning how to wrap stuff in the Bojagi.
We're gonna use it in order. The one on the top. We're gonna start with the top, okay? So open it. Open up the first one, the smallest one.
Everything was super pretty. I love Bojagi and the traditional little designs that are very subtle on the silk. Oh, it's just amazing.
We're proud because the crane itself means their loyalness and also their gracefulness and also love. All these. First of all, if you want to use purple, you have to place the purple color at the bottom. So you have to start with the white if you want the purple to be outside.
이거 물건을 가운데 놓고 중심에 맞았는지 확인을 한번 해볼 거예요. 왜냐면 얘는 색종이가 아니어가지고 내가 중심에 놓은 것 같아도 조금씩 삐뚤어질 수가 있기 때문에 한번 확인해 볼게요.
And also make sure you put the object in the middle, but because it's not like a fabric, it's not a paper like origami, so always it will be tilted. So make sure it's always at the center.
이 보자기 끝부분은 우리 수학에서는 여기를 꼭지점이라고 하잖아요. 보자기에서는 귀라고 해요.
So in Korea we call the edge, this edge, especially mathematics, like edge, the point. But in Korea we call it 귀라고 하죠. But in Korea we call it 귀, it's like ear, 귀.
자, 맞닿은 귀끼리 맞잡고 물건에 살짝 손을 올려서 흔들흔들해주면 중심을 맞추실 수 있어요.
So if you hold each of the edge, the 귀, and then you put your right hand on the object and shake it a bit, then you can make sure that it is placed in the center.
양옆에 맞췄고 이제 위아래 한번 맞춰볼게요.
And then you're going to do exactly the same with the other side of the edge as well.
맞은 것 같아요. 그러면 이제는 위 아래 있는 귀를 맞잡고 저는 오른손잡이에요. 잡고 오른손을 동그랗게 해서 이렇게 끼워요.
So she's a right-handed person, which is why she held it. Basically, hold it with your left hand, and with your right hand, make a circle.
밑에까지 쭉
And press it all down.
간단하게 약간 내주고 얘는 원래 옆에 있었던 애들이니까 이렇게 옆으로 보내주세요.
She's saying like basically the side, make sure you're staying inside.
그다음에 양옆에 있는 귀도 한 번에 다 모아가지고 올 건데 이렇게 가지고 오잖아요. 그러면 분명히 거기서 지금 계시거든요. 그래서 여기를 잘 정리해서 가운데 오게끔 딱 맞추고 한 번에 가지고 오지 않으셔도 돼요. 조금씩 정리하면서.
Basically, she's saying like if you pull it one side, you eventually say like, oh my god, this looks so not pretty. So make sure you do it little by little, like make sure it's neatly like arranged, and then pull it slowly, slowly.
왼쪽 거 가지고 와서 다 모아 잡았습니다.
So she started with the left side, and make sure
손을
everything is
바꿔주지.
neat.
오른쪽 거 가지고 와야 되는데 오른손을 사용할게요. 오른쪽도 이렇게 가지고 오면 싫죠.
Yeah, that one's an example of awkwardness, so don't do that.
가운데 오게끔 잘 모아가지고.
Yeah, make sure you like wrinkle a bit so it looks like it's arranged towards the center.
그리고 고무줄을 사용해서 2번 정도 묶으시면 될 것 같아요.
And use the rubber band to tie it twice, or 3 times, up to you, if you can.
짱짱하고 잘 끊어지지 않으니까 당시하면 돼요.
Don't worry, the rubber band will not suddenly rupture, so don't worry about it.
우리가 네 귀가 있었죠? 네 귀를 네 방향으로 한번 펼쳐볼게요.
So since you remember there were 4 angles, right? Called 귀. So we're gonna spread the 4 귀 into different directions,
오른쪽,
like flower.
위, 아래, 왼쪽.
Yeah. So up,
이렇게만
down,
해도
left, and
예쁘죠?
right. It looks better now, right? More pretty. we're gonna make it prettier, more beautiful.
아까 귀라고 한 부분을 얘를 고무줄 안으로 집어넣을 건데
So we're gonna put the key, which is the edge, inside the rubber band.
이 고무줄은 제가 2번 묶었기 때문에 하나를 이렇게 들어 올릴 수가 있어요.
She mentioned,
하나만 이렇게 들어 올리시면 늘어나죠?
she mentioned like just tie it twice so you have no space when you do this bead thing. So you can see you can like pull it outside. So do it.
그래서 한 3분의 2 정도 위에 가고 3분의 1 정도가 나오게끔 이렇게 넣어주시면 돼요. 네 방향 모두 그대로 넣어주시면 됩니다.
We're gonna do all four sides and make sure like at least 1/3.
이렇게 하시면 이제 꽃잎이 밑에는 꽃잎이 되고 꽃 받침이 되고 위에는 꽃이 되잖아요. 이 상태에서 꽃 받침이랑 한 번씩 더 만져주시면 훨씬 예뻐요. 이렇게 고무리를 둥긋하게 살려주시고
Yeah. She's saying the top part will stay as a flower and the bottom will become a flower like a stem.
꽃도 뭉쳐진 부분이 있다면 이렇게 숨어져 있는 부분을 찾아가지고 꺼내주시면
And if some parts are like overlapped, it doesn't look as good as before. Don't worry, you can stretch it out, pull it out, you can adjust it on your own.
균형이 맞게끔 잡아주시면 돼요.
Just make sure it's well balanced, not like one side longer, other side shorter.
그리고 제가 준비한 이런 아크릴로 만든 펜던트가 있어요. 여기에도 그림이 다 달라요. 자개 조각을 넣었는데요. 우리나라 이제 전통 문양에서 많이 보실 수 있는 학이라든지 소나무, 사슴, 그리고 또 뭐 있었더라? 거북이도 있었나요? 거북이도 있었던 것 같아요. 거북이 등등 뭐 장수나 이런 것들을 기원하는 여러 가지 모양의 것들이 들어있고 제가 이제 만든 거를 같이 한번 여기 달아보도록 할게요. 여기도 매듭, 전통 매듭으로 묶었어요. 돌의 매듭.
Basically, the pendant is made out of the traditional way of creating, which is jage, which is made out of the shell cover. So it's traditional made of it, and the shape is all different. Some of them have like a crane, and also it might have like a deer or like butterfly, which represent each of the symbol and meaning of it, such as long live and all these good things. So right now she's trying to use the dorebega, which is another traditional way of tying it.
묶어주시면 돼요.
So take a look at how she tied it, but if you need help, just call me help.
길이도 원하시는 대로 길게 하셔도 되고 짧게 하셔도 되고.
And the length is just up to you. You can adjust it however you want to. And like. Everyone's a different pendant shape, so you can change the shape. Yours is deer, may I check? Yours is flowers? I think so. Oh, she's talented. Yeah. Okay. She said when you place your rubber band, make sure it's closest to your moon jar inside. So don't go too far, like near as possible.
Is this good?
괜찮은가요? Very good. Doing great. She's saying like it's not about just rapping. Like she said like it's about rapping. We're just gonna rap and then talking to this pretty.
So you said it has like a spiritual meaning too?
Yeah, Bojagi is
The queen relate to that? The queen? That name?
아 귀. 아 혹시 귀가 귀신이랑 관계돼서
그건 아니고 귀는 약간 귀퉁이
아.
귀퉁이 이런 거가 거기다 있는 거
She's saying it's not 100% sure, but you know in Korean there's a term called 귀퉁이, which means edge, corner. Because it's at the corner of the fabric, because we just call it 귀. It's a short term.
놀기도 하고
네 맞아요.
거의 어릴 때는 장난감 그랬잖아요.
네.
그리고
슈퍼맨.
네, 어릴 때는
Culturally, Bojagi, in royal palace, they present things in Bojagi and believe that it's not only valuable, but it will have a power of protecting this gift from like bad evil spirits. But what she mentioned about like Bojagi start with the birth all the way to the death is that when the baby is born, actually she mentioned like they used to wrap the baby in Bojagi because Bojagi is a general term in Korean where it represents like a square fabric. And also, like while we grow up, we play with Bojagi.
from
Yes, and also when they're dead, like now we cremate it and then we put it in a jar, right? We also wrap it with Bojagi.
So are rubber bands always used with these?
I do not think so.
먹기 전에는 사실 이 보자기로 옛날에 사용하던 보자기는 끈이 많이 달려있었어요.
끈으로요?
네, 끈이 달려있는 보자기가 많았고 옛날에는 제주도에 있는 본태박물관이 있거든요. 거기 가면은 옛날 보자기가 많이 전시되어 있거든요. 거기는 거의 다 끈이 달려있고 그 보자기가 이렇게 옛날에 사용되다가 그 다음에 산업화되고 가방 사용하면서 쇠퇴되다가 전쟁이 일어나서 보따리 정도. 지금은 이거를 예쁘고 더 아트적인 부분을 가미해가지고 이렇게 발전한 거여가지고 그 전에는 뭐가 있었어요? 끈으로 묶었겠죠. 네, 끈으로. 이건 이제 좀 더 현대. 그래서 이 보자기 아트라는 게 전통에다가 현대적인 것과 실용성을 더해서 발전하고 있는 거죠.
So I asked you, like, for the rubber band, what do they use? Basically, on like the Bojagi used to have a line connected already. So when they're made, they already have a line string attached. But so before the rubber band, they used like a string. But now, because we no longer use Bojagi as often as before, so we're just making it as pretty and like glam as possible and try to use the rubber band to make it more artistic.
Is this right? I feel like this is
I think this is good, but if you want to ask for help,
yeah.
you can ask
I have
for help.
no idea.
You did great. Flower
Like,
petal,
just
just pull it down and adjust
침을
it.
3분의 1 정도.
So like 1/3 of the leftover will be great.
조금 줄일 수
Do
있어요.
we need another rubber band or is it just like this?
I think you only need one rubber band.
Okay.
그것을 하나만 쓰면 되죠?
네.
Yeah, one is enough.
그런데 너무 당기는 게 힘들다 그럼 두 개 쓰셔도 뭐
But if you
틀린
feel
건
like it's
없습니다.
slightly hard, then you can use another one. There's no wrong answer for it. But just slightly different. So then put it in between your rubber band. Yeah, like that. Hold it down.
원하시는 대로 내가 어떤 색이 밖에 오게 하고 싶은지는 결정하시면 되고요. 저는 흰색이 밖에 왔으니까 이번에는 흰색이 안쪽으로 오도록 한번 이번에는 책을 이렇게 물건을 세로로 놓고 마찬가지로 위아래
Yeah, do the same thing. Repeat it.
물건을 맞춰볼게요. 자, 내 앞에 있는 보자기 물건을 감싸고 남아있는 거는 안으로 들어갑니다.
Once you like embrace it, like hold it, make sure anything left over is tucked inside.
위에 있는 보자기로 감싸고 여기 반 보이시죠? 반 접어서 남은
She's mentioned
거예요.
once you fold it, you see the half of it. Just fold it half.
진짜 죄송해요. 제가 하나를 빼먹었네요. 잠시 풀을게요.
She said she forgot something, so sorry.
정말 죄송합니다. 중심 맞춘 거에서 약 3cm 정도만 오른쪽으로 이동할게요.
You move like slightly, like
3 cm 늘었어요.
Yeah. After the center, it's not exactly center.
그
You have
부분을
to shift it to the
빼먹었어요.
right. 3 centimeter.
약 3cm.
She forgot this stuff. She's so sorry.
네.
Repeat the thing.
이제 양옆에 있는 거를 가지고 올라올 건데요. 짧은 쪽 먼저 가지고
You're gonna
올라올게요.
bring the shorter side.
3cm 옮겼으니까 짧은 쪽 있죠?
こっちが短いので短い方を先に
자, 안으로 손가락을 자유롭게 사용하셔야 돼요.
Use
그리고
your fingers.
가운데 누르고 양 옆에 가지고 와서 쭉 올려요. 근데 이 천이 원단이 미끄럽기 때문에 잘 안 되실 수 있어요.
Basically, use your finger, make sure the inside of the ankle is folded first, and then pull it before you pull it. The problem is the
布が
fabric
滑りやすい
is
ので気をつけてくだ
so
さい。
it will be hard for you to grab.
이 상태에서 왼쪽 걸 가져올 건데 이 부분을 살짝 여기 안으로
So if you tuck it in slightly before you pull the other side, it's easier for you to balance it out because the fabric is let's say it's slippery.
이 과정은 꼭 안 하셔도 되는데
You don't have to do
더
it, it's not necessary.
편하게 하실 수 있어요.
But this helps you a lot.
자, 그다음에 여기 왼쪽에 있는 부분도 마찬가지로 손가락으로 여기 누른 상태에서
So you do
가지고
the same
오고
thing. You fold the edges first,
가지고 와서 쭉 들어 올려서 감싸요.
then you pull and wrap it.
감싼 다음에 여기서 잠시 대기 이렇게 해놓을게요.
Then we're
띠를
gonna pause it for a while,
사용하거든요.
okay? Because we need the dainty in the wrap.
띠가 글씨가 안 보이는 방향으로 이렇게
So
놓고
you flip it and start with the side that doesn't show
뾰족한
the
부분을
words.
아,
여기 끝과 맞춰주세요.
계속.
So the edge has to match the edge of the.
꼬꼬도 꼬꼬 알았어.
It's important. Make sure they're matched.
감싸서
And wrap it.
이제 여기 있는 세 장과 끈 하나를 보자.
So once it's wrapped like that, we're gonna tie it with the rubber band.
아까보다는 어려워요.
It's more difficult than the first one.
그러면 여기가 이제 세 장이 나오잖아요. 하나,
Then we have our three pieces, right? One,
둘, 셋인데 이렇게 약간 엇갈리면서
you twist a bit so each fabric is separated.
하면 색깔이 어긋나면서 더 예쁘고요. 이쪽 남아있는 부분은 처음에 했던 수국처럼 고무줄 안으로 이렇게 넣을 거예요. 근데 이게 좀 저는 이렇게 두 번을 넣었어요.
이런 식으로.
여기 고무줄 들어 올려서
Lift the rubber band.
한
Flip
번
over inside
넣어서
once.
둥긋하게 만들고 남아있는 부분도 한 번 더 넣을 건데 여기에다 첫 번째 고무줄 들어 올렸으니까 이번에는 밑에 있는 고무줄을 들어 올려요.
So the second
들어
one, when you
올려서
tuck it in, use the other side of the rubber band.
끝부분 넣고 이중으로 봉긋하게
So we
만들어서
cover the ribbon.
이렇게 하셔도 되고 이런 식으로 어긋나게 하면 위에가 봉긋하게
Then it becomes more like plum, right?
이런 식으로
ちょっと
여기는 자유롭게
ずらした方が可愛い。
이거는 좀 큰 책이고요. 이거는 좀 작은 책이어서 여기가 좀 안 예쁘게 되긴 했죠.
You say
이렇게
it's not as pretty as you want it to be, but this is how you take it.
책을 세로로 두신다는 거.
Remember your wrapping instruction if you get confused.
Now, here's where I messed up a little bit. In the demonstration, she slid the book over a little bit, and I remembered to do that. However, in the demonstration, when she folded the last two sides, she folded the short side first, and I folded the long side first. So, a little mistake, but it wasn't too drastic.
If you're lost, always call teacher. Don't feel shy.
Do we do this? Folding stuff with this too, like that?
Correct.
Or-
Hitch. Like an edge first.
The queen, right?
Yeah, queen.
I came to Korea 2 years ago and I bought some of these because I thought it was cool, but I never
Really?
learned how to use them.
I don't know.
But I did end up having to get some help from the teacher. And this was so cute. One of the girls at the table, I think the translator, ended up putting the little purple string thing on her phone case, and then I did it, and then everyone else on the table did it. It was like a little thing with their table, and it worked so well with the phone case. It was so cute. Then finally we learned how to wrap the sheer large Bojagi to make a little bag to put everything in, and that one was super easy. I didn't record the instructor teaching us how to do it, but I do, show how to wrap it in like just a little bit. Also, I was super lucky because the seat next to me was empty, and there was an extra set of Bojagis, and I really wanted to practice. So I was like, hey, is it okay if like I wrap this one too? And they were like, yeah, go ahead, why not? They ended up letting me keep both of them. The girl, she was like, oh, you need an extra bag to wrap your other one in, don't you? And I was like, oh my goodness, I guess I do. So I was so happy. I just wanted to practice. I wasn't expecting to be able to take 2 sets of the Bojagi and moon jars or whatever home, but they let me. Oh my gosh, so incredibly happy and excited about that. And now here's my demonstration on how to make a Bojagi bag. And everyone was wrapping up and chatting and leaving, but I was here just trying to work on wrapping the second one in the opposite like color scheme. And here they are, my 2 Bojagi, the first one with the purple top, the second one with the white top, though I feel like the first one was actually like better.
The charm of Korean culture, I think, would just be how... Sorry. Can I have minutes to think?
Oh my god, and this was so embarrassing. I was so excited because there were people walking around the whole time with like big cameras recording the whole thing, and I was happy because they asked if they could interview me, except I did so bad in the interview. It was so awkward. I couldn't think of what to say. I wanted to be articulate and say like the right things. I have all these things in my head. I've thought about them, but it was just so difficult to be put on the spot and to like, I wanted to say everything not correctly, but like exactly how I actually truly felt and thought about things, and it was so bad. I kept asking for time to think, and then it was just, I was just so embarrassed in the end because I did so bad in this interview.
I just don't want to repeat what I said before. I think that the charm of Korean culture is how long-lasting it is, and how continuous it has been, and how different traditions have been able to be passed down from way back when. I'm so sorry. I think that everything is very crazy, and there's such a long history to things, and there's a lot of culture and meaning behind different things, and the reason for doing things. Like the Bojagi, there's specific spiritual meanings behind it as well.
Are you Ami? No? Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you.
Like, girl, what was that? Stop saying things. I don't even think I even like actually said anything of meaning. And then at the end, I said thank you and I apologized because like, what was that, girl? And they asked if I was Army and I had to say no. Like, oh my god. And And this cafe was rather large. There were multiple buildings. I think it's called Viki Cafe, Veke, and outside here there was a bunch of different little shops with like BTS handmade fan merch. There were other handmade things there too that were not BTS specific, but nothing of interest for me. And I had to walk to a different building for the lecture Artists Loved by RM. But once I got inside, they actually said that they were going to start in like 10-15 minutes, so I ended up leaving and going to the main cafe area and getting a chocolate latte, then coming back. Inside this building was really cool though, because all along the walls there were different like artworks, paintings, clothing that fans of BTS made about BTS, and it was very interesting to see. If I were a true ARMY, it definitely would have been way more exciting and impactful, but even as just a layman, it was very cool to see, and the art was all very impressive. The lecture was very interesting. I was super lucky because the translator from the Bojagi workshop was also the translator for here, so it was pretty much like, not all in English of course, but pretty much all in English because she was translating everything that was in Korean. And something about this event that I have to mention has to do with what you see to the right there, a girl in a wheelchair. From my knowledge, I don't remember exactly all the details, but they actually paid for, I think around a dozen people who were disabled in wheelchairs to come to Jeju for like, I don't know if it was just the weekend or for a week or maybe 5 days or something like that, but they paid for armies from all over the world who were in wheelchairs to come to Jeju, come to this event, experience the culture, experience Jeju, and I thought that was super cool, and it was super nice to see people in wheelchairs around being able to enjoy Jeju. Though I do have to say, Korea is not the most friendly if you have a disability. It's not very accessible. A lot of stores have stairs and this and that, and like, listen to the Dark Side of Seoul episode about it, but still, it's progress, and we love to see that. However, also, this building in particular, before entering, you had to take your shoes off outside, so there was just a pile of shoes outside the front door, and I was like, how did she get like inside? Did they like just run over everyone's shoes, or like that's just, you know, one of those little accessibility obstacles that it's like a thing to think about.
So RM is from a native rapper because he started as a rapper, right? But he is the type of person who like turned the English art into a rapping, an art, and music, everything. If you look at it, you can tell that he thought about it a lot, he felt it through, and then tried to express it through the art. So he started as someone who is a rapper, now he's an art influencer because she thought that he could be one of the like top 30 in the world who has an influence in the art area. For example, like Brazilian Art Fair, which is one of the most like renowned art fests, want art to come down and visit because once art go down and take a photo and upload it on Instagram or Twitter, everyone wants to come down. So in the world of the art, people want art to come down because his influence is incredible. RM himself mentioned that he wanted to build his own small museum dedicated to the art pieces that he collected, and then she joked saying like there's a rumor that he's walking around and actually looking for the real estate to build the museum. He is? He's not joking, he's really doing it. Okay, so he is actually looking for the real estate. So she's aware that he already collected like 300 plus pieces, and then some of them are definitely big art and also with a high values, but his art collection also includes those like small and also names not well known like artists work as well. So he mentioned specifically about his plan about his art museum. She mentioned that on the first floor it will be cafes, so people can come. And the third one is residence with the artist with the traditional media base. Something that you see very common often. Yoonhyun's art job, and then how he started falling in love with Yoonhyun is actually quite recent in 2018 during this Chicago, his tour in Chicago. And then usually he will just stay in his hotel and then just like watch YouTube or Netflix, but that day he struck saying like, oh my god, I need to go to the museum somehow. So he went to the Chicago Institute of the Arts and Art Institute of Chicago, which has amazing collections such as Picasso and actual voice as a part of the track, and she, as her voice, her knowledge, she doesn't know anyone else who has done it after art. Represents the sky, underrepresents the color of the earth, and that's why I call it Chunji. And the composition is a gate. Something special about his job, his work, is that you will think about having 2 pillars and then have a roof to cover the door, right? That's how you usually think, but the author, Yoonhyun actually did opposite. He put the top and the base and then put a 2 pillar because he believed that 천지문, which is heaven and earth, needs to be connected without anything to block in between. We mentioned that the sky is blue and the ground is umber, right? But if you mix these two, this is the color that you see, which is the vivid umber. And because they are combined, therefore it shows a harmonious way of mixing the two colors and the two concepts of earth and heaven. And the meaning itself is that this is the heaven and earth, how they are harmoniously mixed up, and also the door that's coming towards them. Mr. Yu his artwork, he actually helped to like spread out the Korean art, and also he became the connection between the fandom culture and the artwork. Song Sang-gi, she'll explain more about his artwork in front, but he's a person who had a bit of handicap because when he was young, he broke his back and spine. Therefore, he wasn't able to grow. Like his upper body was not like growing. He had a handicap and he wasn't able to grow. So due to that, like when she realized like someone young as RM is interested in Song Sang-gi, she was so like surprised how much affection and interest that RM had on him. To her, it even felt like a mystery why RM does like Song Sang-gi. So and she realized he had a feeling of like belongingness. He felt like, oh my God, I feel you. I feel empathetic. Like empathetic to, not because of the external reason, but because of the internal, like literary refinement and with the great thoroughness that he has in terms of artwork. The color of it is very like vibrant, and you might even imagine that that side might have some music and some excitement and laughter might come out. So by showing that, it's saying that actually, even though it looks secluded from the wall, it might be a poor place type of thing, but that doesn't mean it's sad. This picture, you can see there are two types of trees. One straight and strong tree that grew like a normal tree, but also on the other side, the one that is like withered but also tilted and like curved as if like himself, and also caught off, he couldn't grow. So he portrayed himself on this tree. The grandmaster she mentioned have the narcissism of the looking down gaze, meaning like if you take a look, the viewers will feel like they will see that like everything is from top to bottom, and then what outside of the focal point, everything looks small and minimal. So you might feel like the drawers are feeling like smug. I'm like, I'm so proud, I'm so good at it. So you might feel that way. But unlike those traditional grandmasters, actually something special is that Son boldly pushes away all this scene of security, and the center of the painting is empty. You see the center of the painting is empty, and the composition is unsettling. And it's called an authentic masterpiece for a reason, because of those contrasts and differences. How does art like this kind of piece of work that is so deep and authentic and genuine? This path, which started and originated from the grandma, the old lady, will continue through the granddaughter. Like this path will be continue and probably like handed over to her as well.
And I couldn't record the whole thing, but I did take a few notes. They don't make too much sense, but one of them said, RM, flower, once you dry it, it stays young forever in the painting and never withers. And my second note says snowfall, meaning how longing can be heavy and dangerous.
Due to his like unfortunate, but he had the strongest will to live on, regardless.
Also, I am very scared of bugs, and I don't remember if it was on my leg or my bag, but I flicked a bug off of me, and that was it, crawling around over there. I was very quiet throughout the whole thing, so I was proud of myself for that, but still a bit spooky. And pause to read if you are so inclined. Also, it did start to rain while the lecture was going on, so by the time it ended, all of the little shops that were set up outside had moved in.
Story that she forgot to mention, but basically in the Busan International Gallery, RM came down to meet Mr. Ahn-Cho, and then he requested for the signature from him. And at the time, Mr. Ahn-Cho didn't know who RM was, but RM explained like, I'm this type of person, and then he got a signature, and that's when Mr. Ahn-Cho came to know about RM the person.
And after that was done, I went to the building I was in before for the singing BTS hits in Jeju Dialect. However, the one person who was actually well-versed in the Jeju Dialect ended up leaving after like the first 5 or 10 minutes or whatever and never came back. So the other 2 people were like trying to be like, do you know any Jeju words? Do you know this? Do you know? And they were trying, but like they did not do well. So we just kind of hung out for a bit and watched the music video and talked about stuff. They talked about stuff. It wasn't like a class discussion, but at one point they did ask if anyone else like has a dialect and like how that's affected them or whatever. And I like mentioned like, oh, in the US, like I kind of have a bit of a southern dialect, but like not too much, but yeah.
아마 학교 교육을 받아야 되잖아요. 우리가. 학교에 가면 다 표준말을 쓰거든요. 사투리를 쓰면 안 되게 돼 있어요. 못하게 돼요. 그래서 제주어, 특히 제주어는 그냥 어머니
was the feeling when like she asked like, oh, how you feel? Do you feel embarrassed when you speak the dialect? Because whenever you accidentally pop out the dialect, you felt like, oops, I'm not supposed to.
But I do have to mention that the Jeju dialect is called Jeju-o, and o means language. It's like the Jeju language. And Jeju-o, the Jeju dialect, it's technically its own language, like not officially because of politics or whatever, but it meets all the criteria for being its own language. But it is very much a dying language. Only a few older people speak it. The younger generation has adopted, like, you know, mainland Korean dialect. So what you gonna do? Some people call it a dialect. Some people are like, no, it's its own thing, its own language, but whatever.
Dialect, they have certain accents. They can tell it's not standard Seoul way of speaking. So basically, she just asked, can you please do it? And she's like, oh, people in Gwangju will say Choki. They say Choki.
And then we watched a BTS music video and talked about it afterwards, which was pretty cool for me because I have taken like a K-pop and J-pop class that we had to watch a few music videos for. And so just like analyzing the different elements of it and just seeing it for the first time was pretty fun.
Take a look at it, like in the lyric, it also mentioned about smoke piercing, right? And then the lyric says like, here, my heart races ahead of a lone smoke piercer. I want to hold your hand across the world to end this winter. Even the lyric says it, but in the music video, if you come to think about it, the train never stops. It's continuously running in this endless like winter that has been like there is no living people because the earth is like collapsed, it comes to the end due to the climate like crisis, right? So it does represent that people are stuck in this like forever everlasting winter, which also shows that is representing and dedicated to those people who are going through those sorrow and sadness that never ends. So the spring day is dedicated to those people. And around it there were several yellow ribbons hanging and then like dangling. Basically the yellow ribbon is a symbol to like show your sorrow towards that incident or those people who have sacrificed by it. So it's like culture and societal symbol. Highlight is a part where Jimin was in front of the beach. You know, you can tell that it's a seashore with the sneakers he was holding it, right? And then there's another part that Jin was in front of the laundry machine that was full of like sneakers. And you might be like, oh, how's it related? And she's saying like, oh, in the news when that incident happened, there was this like very vivid scenes where people couldn't find, the rescuer couldn't find the children's like body. Instead, they could only find their shoes, missing shoes, only one pair, not even a pair. And then their students' parents were crying holding that. Oh my God. Crying holding that shoe. So as a Korean, if you have watched it and lived through that period, that is a scene that you cannot forget. And then, so by seeing that scene where the shoes are running around without a person who was wearing it in the water, it kind of like, it's a like undeniable reference to the Seoul incident. Also, it was hanging on the tree as well, as it was a missing person, right?
At the end, someone came around and passed out these cards that also came with a little sticker sheet on the back of them, and I very much appreciated the stickers. And then that was it. Everyone was just chatting and hanging out. I do also have to mention that it was super annoying because during the whole lecture, people kept coming in and out of the doors, and every time they did, the air conditioner would go off, and it was like, okay, you have to reserve like a spot for this thing. Why do people keep entering and leaving? Oh my God, just random people too. They would just pop in and pop out, and it was like, dog. And that was it for me, but the place that it was at is called Viki Garden, and there is a small cafe in the front, but there's quite a decent sized little garden in the back. And they were doing garden tours, but they ended before I was done, so I just walked around on my own before leaving because like I'm here, might as well see it. Also, I'm not a hundy, but I'm pretty sure I saw online that just to like go to the place to enter on a normal day, you have to pay like, I don't know how much it was, 10-15 bucks or something. So I was like, ooh, I'm gonna walk around here while I can because like it's cool, it's nice, but I don't think I'll be coming back. Then I had a very short walk to the small bus stop on the side of the road, and I decided while I was out, I would go back to that cafe to get the fruit thing. It was nice because it was just one bus that I had to take, but it was like an hour long. But like, I'm from Florida, I'm used to an hour commute. And my mom had just watched the show When Life Gives You Tangerines, and she was like, while you are in Jeju, you have to watch this. And I was like, you know what, damn, you probably right. So I started that while I was on the bus. And here's just me appreciating how the wind was blowing in my favor. And here it is. I finally got the sweet pastry, the sweet pastry, and I was watching my show and I had an amazing view. This was just picture perfect. I can't even. It had ice cream, chocolate drizzle, and an assortment of fruits that were in season or in stock. There were bananas, apples, grapes, and that pink thing on top, I have no idea what it was. At first, I thought maybe it was fish, and I kind of got scared because I don't like seafood. Whatever the pink thing on top was, I did not like it. It was kind of bitter. I don't know. I ended up like putting all of those off to the side and not eating it because it was just not my taste. But it was kind of fun how it was so big and it came with scissors. I haven't actually like cut up my food like this before, but I know that's very Korean to like use scissors as a utensil when eating to like cut things. So that's what I was doing. It was a bit difficult to cut, but you do what you gotta do, and I finished the whole thing, of course. Afterwards, I went right in front of the cafe across the street just to take in the view, and I saw a dog, and the owner was watching the dog, but she didn't notice that I was behind her also watching the dog, and then the dog saw me and came running to say hi, and I asked her if I could pet the dog, and she noticed that I was there, and she was like, oh my gosh, she scared me. But spoiler alert, she did let me pet the dog, and oh my goodness, this little guy was so cute and friendly. I finally got to love on a dog for the first time since like I left my own. 너무 귀여워.
용이야 그만해.
감사합니다. 감사합니다. And I was so happy to be able to pet such a cute and fluffy and nice dog. But then I started to think about my own cute and fluffy and nice dog and how long it's been since I've seen him and how long it'll be until I can see him again. And this was the first time since I left like a month ago that I've really been thinking about him like a lot like this and how much I miss him and how cute he is. And it did not take me very long to start crying just thinking about him. But there's nothing I can do. I'll see him eventually. I'm trying not to mess up my mascara, trying to enjoy the moment and the view, so I calm down after a few minutes. And I'm back to the spot where I was just the other day when I came to the cafe, but this time I decided I was actually gonna walk out on the rocks and see another little spot, a little area, and it was so cute and the view was so good. Oh my goodness. Oh, all the crabs. Ah, so many crabs. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm not gonna be a creeper or anything, but in there, you can't see them very well, but there are definitely the little haengyo bobbers. And I really want to know what this is. How long it's been there. And I saw this from a distance and I was like, what is that? And it didn't seem to really be anything, just like for funsies decoration. Anyways, I had more time today, so I was determined to go out to the little walkway breakwater thing that I saw the other day. But first I needed water, and I was just gonna buy the frozen water bottle and let it thaw out, but then I decided, nah, I'm just gonna get a cup of ice and a bottle of water. And at the front they had vapes and I was like, ooh, and nah. I thought about it though. I resisted though, so like give me props for that at least. And the place connected to the 7-Eleven seems like it used to be some type of public pool or something. I don't know, it was quite large and it's not like it was cold. It seems like there should be families there and water in the pool, but there was no one there. It was just empty. I was like, okay. But a short walk later and we finally made it to the destination. Okay, I just had to stand here for a few minutes and delete and download things because I ran out of room on my SD card. But here we are. Gotta be real with you, this looked a lot steeper from farther away, and now that I've gotten close up, it once again looks quite steep. But these things are just huge. That's crazy, and this is such a nice little thing. Oh my goodness. That looks like someone got murdered there. Legit. The difference between the metal railings and like those huge stone things and then these wooden railings is crazy. But I was right, the words on the edge of this say 신정한 금세기. I wonder where the owner of this bike went. This seems like the thing, it's wide, it's like as wide as a road, if not wider. It definitely seems like the type of place that would be in a K-drama where they like drive the car all the way to the edge. Oh shit, the seat's pretty beaten up. It looks pretty rusted. How long has that been there for? Anyways, so we're not here to take photos today, but what a great photo spot. Actually, I think that over there would be an even better photo spot just because it's like white and more aesthetic. There's no like aesthetic. There's no like walls like there are here. But it's so nice. We're here right at sunset. There's no one else here. There was, but they left. And how nice it is to not have to deal with anyone else, to be able to do what I want and just come here and spontaneously be like, you know what, I'm just gonna walk over there and not to have to worry about someone. Like, call me selfish, but living, no, I'm gonna stop it there. Ah, all the bugs! Oh my god, I can't. Okay, that looks like it was a fish that was actually killed by an animal, not eaten. And look at that, bubbling up. What's that doing over there? Is it a spring or something? Probably not. I don't know. Oh, there's a cat, and it has a fish. Oh, you can see its, you can see its rib cage. Oh, poor thing. But also cats are an invasive species, so can't have too much empathy. And a quick little moment for some photos that I took. And now for my like 20+ minute walk to the bus stop. And the cats, there were so many cats just scattered around, hanging out. And of course, it's always nice to walk through a legit neighborhood where locals be. Oh, but I was so upset. I realized that one of the pins that I got in China at like the Summer Palace had fallen off my bag. Oh my god. You have no idea how happy I am right now. Maybe you do. Maybe you can tell. I pull out my 2 little Bojagi wraps that I made, right? That I got today for free, by the way. I'm like, oh, I love this so much. This was a great event to sign up for. And look at this. I haven't even taken it out yet. It's the pin that I thought I lost. Oh my god, I was so sad on the bus. Like, not even an hour ago. It's 8:15 right now. I got home at like 7:40 and I thought that this thing had fallen while I was walking. And I was like, damn, there's no way I can get it back. I got this at the Summer Palace in China and it's so cool. It's like definitely one of the cooler ones. The other ones I got were like, you know, like traditional or whatever, like dress outfit things. And this one was like a cool little design. Oh my gosh. Anyways, moral of the story is that I'm never putting that bitch on my back again unless it is glued on there. Oh my gosh, it's fallen off so many times and I was like, maybe it'll be okay. And it was not okay. But anyways, now to see, the ones that I made today. I wrapped these myself, obviously, as you saw before. And I think they turned out rather well for my first time doing it, you know? Maybe, maybe not. I think so. It looks, you know, it's not as clean as I would want it to be, but it's pretty clean. And I got a good one of these. I like the one that I got. I didn't have to ask for a different one, and it's all nice and cute. I do wish that I had taken some of the extra clear rubber bands that we used to wrap them with so that I could like have some extras and do it again. And this is the second one that I did. I think this one didn't turn out as well. Also, I didn't have another one of these and I didn't ask for another one, so this one is just kind of raw dogging it. I don't think it's as good or as pretty or anything, but I think it's fine. I think it's okay. So because the seat next to me was open, that's the only reason that I was able to get an extra one of these. And I was like, do you think it'd be okay if I like wrap this one too? Just because I wanted the practice. I just thought it was fun kind of thing. And she ended up saying like, oh, you need to make another bag because you have 2 things, right? And I was like, that means I can keep it. So I did. Oh, I know it was probably bad of me to take 2 when like no one else did that. And that's like you get one for free, like don't push it. But I pushed it. And I got 2, but they're so cute, they're so nice. I really wanted one, now I can give one like as a gift. Oh, and it was free. So I'm gonna unwrap this one. Oh, also I got some extra, you know, this is what the book was wrapped in that we got. This is the book, BTS Art Revolution, and it's in English. It's like, you know, an English copy. I don't wanna like mess it up. But it's like a whole ass book, so maybe I'll read it. I'll probably read it and then I'll give it to someone from my Korean class at school as a gift. But we're gonna open this bitch up. Oh goodness, and they said don't worry about breaking the rubber band. They're supposed to be rather strong. Okay. Okay. Oh my goodness. This is her. This is she. I think it's real. It feels quite real, but also they're all the same, I think. So it so totally could be like factory made, but it feels legit. It feels so legit. And this is so cute, you know, perfect for like my dad in terms of his girlfriend having a very polished apartment. So there's a lot of stuff I can't get for them because I know there's no place for it in their house type of thing. But this would definitely work somewhere in there. So I think I'm going to give them this. I'm glad that I have something for them now. And also I just kind of want to show how wrinkled this got from wrapping it up, but the different little things. Very nice, very cute. Oh, it's so good. Okay, this is my second attempt at wrapping it. I unwrapped it and I wrapped it again. Again, that side's a bit clean. I know it's not supposed to be perfectly clean and all of that. I think it's maybe a bit better than the first time, but I feel like this one looks so good. For some reason, I just like absolutely, I feel like I nailed this one, even though I know I didn't. And it's like, you know, my first time ever doing it, literally. I didn't even do a reset with this one and redo it, but I feel like this one looks so good. And this one, I don't know. Side by side, maybe I just prefer the purple on top. And it's crazy because when I first made it, I actually wanted the base to be purple and I just did it the wrong way. But I think I like that color coordination better than this one. Anyways, I'll probably redo it again, but you can put something in it. So I was thinking maybe that, but that doesn't look good. That makes it look bad, so. This little tassel is like I keep playing with it. Like when I'm holding my phone, I hold my phone like this, and then I play with it like that or whatever, and I kind of like it, but I might also get annoyed, and I might take it off at some point. I got this postcard, and they had a place to like drop it off, but I forgot, and I didn't do that, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. I think I'm gonna send it to my sister, but I'm gonna send it blank because I know that she's like artistic and would do a much better job and have more fun coloring it in herself. And then, as you can see, I took out a few stickers, and I put them on my computer like there and there. I put the Bojagi workshop sticker on my computer and there and there and there, just like the little ones that I didn't care about because I really don't know how much longer this computer is going to last, so I don't want to waste all my good stickers. And I put it back in the sleeve with the card so that I can figure out what to do with it later. And then in my little scrapbook thing, here it is. This is my little, oh, let me take it out. They gave us a little card. Here it is, Purple Festa. Very fun, very cute, except it looks like actually it's already, the vinyl is peeling. Oh, wow. Is it supposed to do that? I don't think so. Well, since we've started, we're just gonna go all the way, I guess. It feels like it's supposed to come off, but I feel like it's probably not. Okay, without looking in the mirror, I quickly put my hair up. How does it look? Does it look okay? Can you even see? Anyways, we're gonna go do laundry. I thought I could beat the rain, but it seems not, so we're gonna leave the camera here. And here's my setup, not bringing my bag, but I gotta have my nacho chips and water. After passing out on the floor for some time, I made some pizza and I'm watching a little short drama. Just because it's easier than keeping up with the actual K-drama. But not a great end to the night. Not devastating because I'm not actively watching Boys Planet 2 and my picks were all from like clips that I saw on TikTok, but 2 of my men were eliminated. Oh my goodness. And I have a video pinned to my TikTok, same name as here, at Korea Girl Gossip. That's just a quick little overview on how to wrap the Bojagi for the moon jar and how to make a bag out of it if you are so interested.